Hello and welcome back to another Computer Craft Let's Play. And this is my hall, my Texas accent coming out. My hall of death and dismemberment and destruction. So let's go ahead and throw down a zombie spawn egg and see what happens. So he is not looking very well. I don't know, he probably, okay, he made it through, no, that was it. So 6 dispensers is enough to take down a zombie. Now the reason this is interesting is there are no tripwires, there is no pressure plates, and I'm completely safe to walk through this hallway. Nothing at all happens to me, but to put a zombie or even maybe a creeper, hopefully he doesn't blow up there. And they're feeling the pain. They're feeling the hurt. The band hammer. I don't know, I guess this is kind of my band hammer? Sure. So how does this work? How can we get the zombies and creepers to be completely obliterated without any sort of pressure plate? Well, the reason I was going over this is people had been asking about the proximity sensors in the CC Sensors mod. And so here's one. I've named it Hall Sensor. It's a proximity sensor. And here's the CC controller, the sensor controller. And it doesn't work 100%. It's not 100% there yet, but it still is very useful. So how is this working? How are these shooting? Well, first we have 2 computers on either side, and those are connected to 3 dispensers each. So this I'll show you quickly. It's a very simple program. All it's doing is it's listening for a message, and the message is going to be either left, back, or right. So when it gets a message, the message, if it's left, for example, it'll turn the left redstone output to true for 2.2 seconds, and then turn it off, and then wait for 0.1 seconds. So very simple. And then it does that over and over again. So from this computer console, we can control these first three dispensers, and from this computer console we can control these next 3 dispensers. So the main work is actually being done here. This is watching to see where the monsters are, and we can look at this briefly. So we're opening up the modem, we're grabbing the monitor. This is keeping track of the Z-axis, so Z34 goes to computer 208, and the left side, actually 34, 36, and 38 all go to 208, but they just go to different sides. And here's the other computer. These are the 2 computers you saw with the redstone wires coming out of them. And 40 goes to left, 42 back, and 44 right. So this is the CC sensor stuff. First we want to get the controller. This is simply going to return bottom because our controller is on the bottom. So right there. And this is the Hall sensor. I just hard-coded that in. That's the sensor name that I put on the sensor behind it. And we could put living entities. There's multiple different probes you can use. There's living entities, players, and animals, and target info. I should switch this to living entities, but it still works as players, so I won't mess with it yet. This was actually supposed to kill any player without the correct name, but that doesn't work yet, and I can maybe show you why a little bit later. So at the moment, from the proximity sensor, you can get the type. There's like a little type tag, and I think for players it's VQ. For creepers, it's YD. For a zombie, it's AJG. And that's not going to help you figure out which player it is because it's not a player name, it's just an ID. So here's what we're doing. We're going to get a list of available targets from the computer console sensor, from the sensors. And we're going to go through and we're trying to find either a zombie or a creeper. So we're looking for these tags, YD or AJG. And what actually it gives you when you grab the targets is it gives you the tag and then a comma, then X, comma, Y, comma, Z value. So we're going to get whether it's a creeper or a zombie, and then the X, Y, and Z value out of this string match. And if it is a zombie or a creeper, then this was where I was using it for myself. I was trying to grab my name, to grab a player's name, but these aren't working. I actually was working on this on a few other files. There's some weirdness to it, and sometimes you can get a whole readout with all the different players, but then if you don't worry about it. It doesn't work 100% yet. So I just commented this out for now, these get readings, and this in the future, when it's fixed, this should be able to give you player names and player what they're holding and all that great stuff. But for now, I'm just going to comment that out. And all we're getting is whether it's a zombie or a creeper. If it's a zombie or a creeper, we're turning the X, Y, and Z. And all this does is it grabs the 34 through 44 Z position, and if it's an even number, then we send that bad boy, that message off to the computer to have it shoot at our intruder. We have a little write function to write to the monitor up above, and now here's the actual function. One of the things that we're doing is we're keeping track of how long it takes for the monster to walk from one square to the next, so that we can start shooting at his face as he's stepping into the square. Here we're using the sensors get available targets for probe, and we're using the controller, which is just a bottom. You could put the string bottom in here if it's on the bottom. The sensor name, which is hall sensor, and the probe, which currently is players, but again, probably living entities would be better. I don't know. Up to you. And then what we're doing is we're getting the available targets. So right now, if I run this, it won't find any available targets, or it's not going to find any person, and it's not going to find any zombies or creepers. So this will be nil. If it's not nil, that means we have a zombie or a creeper, and we want to shoot him in the face. So if what is not nil, shoot in the face. This is the shoot in the face part of the procedure. So we're grabbing the Z, and here we're going to prepare to shoot them ahead of where they were walking. So they're going to walk into a square, and it's going to shoot. It's going to preemptively shoot ahead of them. Or I was noticing it kept shooting behind them. So this is keeping track of how long it took them to move from one square to the next. And if they're about to walk into a new square, then we're going to shoot ahead of them. So this is where they were moving either left or right. So we're going to shoot either to the left, slightly to the left of where they are, or slightly to the right of where they are. But if they're not just about to move into a new square, you know, they just got into the square, then we're just going to shoot straight at their face. And then that's almost it. So we're keeping track of how long it takes them to move. So here they're still moving because they haven't moved anywhere, and here they finished moving. So we keep track. It took them exactly, I don't know, 5 ticks to move. Each tick is 0.1 seconds. This I shouldn't have left in. That's just some testing stuff that I was doing to see if they were all shooting correctly. So that's it. So all it does is it takes track of their Z value, and it keeps track of how long it takes them to move, and it'll shoot right ahead of them if they're about to change squares. Oh, I forgot to run my program. So that's pretty nice. You can actually make this hallway a lot longer if you'd like, because all you need to really do is set up a few more of these computers, and you can set up, I don't know, a hallway 12 long, and protect yourself from creepers and or zombies. I don't know how well it'll work with spiders, but skeletons should probably go down pretty quick. All you need to do when you're checking for that is try to get the name of or the ID of the monster. So I'm VQ. NM is actually the arrow. So you can shoot at arrows if you wanted to for some reason. But I'll go ahead and put this code up, and you can make yourself a hallway of death of your own. You could have them shooting from both sides. It could be a disaster. I mean, it could be just a slaughter fest. So I'm going to put up the code. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. And until then, happy computing.